What's going on, fellas? This is Sir Studmuffin, leader of Affliction. Today we're going to be talking about the sixth recap in our sixth war win. So, very quickly, as always, I'll give you a quick update on the clan, how we're doing. As you can see, no real new guys coming in from the old clan. That's alright. We're kind of just working on racking up the wins and having stronger attacks. And obviously we won the war 29-22. We 3-starred all of their bases, excuse me, except for their top Town Hall 10, and they basically 2-starred our Town Hall 8s and our Town Hall 9s. So overall, pretty average war. Kind of a stupid war. But we'll go ahead and start off here with this replay of Alejandro's on number 3, because I thought this was a fairly nice replay just to show. He and I kind of worked on it for a little bit, and I just wanted to show kind of what he did. So as you can see here, he drops his poison spell on the CC. I think that was pretty good timing. However, I usually don't let the CC kind of just sit there like that, especially once that Wiz died. For the sake of time, I would have gone ahead and dropped my Wiz already. Now, what you can see here is he kind of does a line, which is not what I like to do with the Wiz. Although, from what it seems like, he has a very heavy Wiz composition, which allows him to do that, because he clears so many structures that it doesn't even matter where his troops are going to path to where he wants, regardless, because all of the buildings are taken out. But anyhow, he basically kills Queen, easy kill, already has 2 giant bombs down, and now it's an Asian wall. So, pretty easy base, but these guys weren't exactly that great, so not a whole lot to show here in all honesty. But we'll go ahead and show you guys some more Goho attack strategies or replays. And I might even, if we continually have bases kind of like this, or in general, I might try and kind of skim down if there are just some really good replays from the war. Either keep them and save them for a how to Goho video, or take some of the, I guess the best way to say it is kind of average bases, and then just make the replay or the video off of that. So haven't really decided that yet. Let me know what you guys would think about that. But let's go ahead and get to the next replay. So I actually want to go, we're going to jump down a little bit actually. Jim re-attack this base. Where is he? Here it is. And I will say that basically we 3-starred. I think this war, our first attacks, or the first wave of attacks on each base, was something like we 3-starred like 8 out of the 10 or something like that, or 7 off the first whip, which is really pretty solid, considering how many Town Hall 9s and 10s there were. Even though they weren't exactly the best, it's still good to just make sure to take them out quickly, and we hadn't done that yet, so I was very happy to see some of the progression that our members have done already. So with this attack, now Brad was briefly in the clan, and he's actually in this current war we're in, and he just left, so I don't understand what happened. Didn't even use both of his attacks. Anyhow, he is using what he called a 4 quake, I guess it's like a shattered go-ho attack, but I just thought it was really cool. Opens up kind of that central compartment. And he also has he has one heal left. Looks like he brings some hogs in to kind of help with his squad, his main squad. Looks like a P.E.K.K.A kind of circles the base, just because he waited a little bit too long, but there was a core giant bomb. And the core was, I guess, fairly large. And then he has kind of an Asian wall deployment here on the bottom right side. I thought it was just pretty interesting to see. I never have seen something like this before. Maybe I'm just missing out or haven't seen the right YouTubers, but I thought it was a really cool attack strategy to kind of bring to the table. Excuse me. So anyhow, this is basically about over for this replay, and looks like 2 GBs were found. I don't even see the third one, so that's pretty bad. Bad design on this guy's part for sure. Now, the next replay I want to show, let's see, just to show you guys very quickly, I believe we were in a 5 Town Hall 9. This is a Town Hall 9 with golden walls, and it has literally no queen. So really, honestly, a pretty easy base. This is pretty much the same thing. So I'm definitely going to show one of Ardic's replays because he did well in this war. So I think probably the better one this war. I think this is his first 6-star war, which is pretty solid. I would say the better one of the two is going to be this one because the queen is a little bit harder to get to. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Even though it's still not that great of a design, and the walls are pretty shoddy. I guess that doesn't really matter for Hogs. But anyhow, he starts off here with a quick bait, and then he brings a shattered entry here on the bottom corner. Now, the poison spell was, yeah, that was about the right timing. Drops the queen, that's very good. Wall breakers in, although it was right under the dragon, which I always am a little bit skeptical of, but he already had poisoned the dragon, and the dragon's slow, and that's another pro of poisoning the dragon, in my opinion. Now, he does not use his Barb King ability, and the queen is actually still alive, but he has some troops down here. And I love how he also immediately drops his troops once he knew that that queen was going to be done. He also is able to set off a giant bomb with his golem, and he has 3 heals that he basically just has to heal the hogs with around the base. I thought it was pretty good planning though on his part in that regard. And then he has 5 whiz that he pretty much dropped, if you didn't see, right when the hogs had kind of cleared that area, which is what I've talked about before in some of my videos, that you always want to make sure to, for the sake of time, if you can, if you use an iPhone, gets a little dicey, but you always want to put whiz down right when the hogs have cleared an area, and that helps you later down the road, or it kind of down with timing. So we'll go ahead and fast forward. Okay. And we will show one more. Now, I'd be lying if I said this was a hard base, but it's a Town Hall 9 on a Town Hall 10. It's honestly pretty shitty, but for the sake of having 3 replays, we'll go ahead and show it. Actually, I already have 3 replays. So for the sake of having 4 replays, we'll go ahead and show it. Because he doesn't like a good Go La Loon attack. So anyhow, I drop my 2 golems here on the bottom left. He's got both his heroes on the outside. I mean, honestly, pretty bad base design, pretty weak. I think he's like level 67 or something like that. Pretty bad. I actually drop a heal here because of his Inferno Tower. Wanted to make sure to keep my troops alive, along with a Rage, which sounds like a large investment, but when I broke the base down, a lot of the DPS was in the bottom left and bottom right corners, and mainly the DPS being his Inferno Towers, with his Expos all on the ground, and when an air attack such as this, it doesn't necessarily matter. So I dropped the Rage on my Loons here. I probably should double up my Hounds a little quicker, or should have doubled up my Hounds at the beginning, just for the sake of this Hound basically having nothing hitting it. It looks like he kind of had his Seeking Air Mines at the top, which honestly was bad for me, but I had plenty of time for cleanup. So cleanup does take a little bit of time, about 40 seconds, but I had a nice spread from really one Hound pop, because of how his base design was, and my queen stayed up to really kind of clean up this base. My Loons had a good spread as well, and I want to say, yeah, so there's my composition, but let me see. I want to say that I was pretty, yeah, it was a pretty quick raid, so I was plenty fine on time. Anyways, so let's go ahead and look at the stats. You can just look at their team, pretty bad. But more importantly, from our team, I got 5 stars. Danny got 4. He did hit pretty low because he's pretty late. But that's alright. But you can just see kind of with first attacks slash first wave. I can't tell you what happened to Brad because I really like that first attack from him too. I think Jim had, to be fair, an attack on the Town Hall 10, and so did Killer, which is difficult as a Town Hall 8, but this next war we have is actually a lot more equal in terms of the Town Halls, although Brad left, which really kind of hurts things. But you can see all of our Town Hall 9s, 3, 4, and 6, with 3 starred, and our first attack on 5, 3 star. I 3 starred first with my mini. Of course, Killer Cool's mini kind of struggled. That always happens without dragons at Town Hall 7. So overall, I was pretty happy with this war, even though it wasn't necessarily the most difficult. And that is about going to wrap this video up. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video, but I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm also going to be recording some other new videos, so be tuned for that. And you can also see, just quickly, my kind of what I'm working with here. This actually isn't for war, it's for a practice attack. So, you know, I might show that in replay or make how-to videos off of kind of my practice attacks or the importance of practice attacks. Anyhow, said enough. Once again, this is Sir Stud Muffin.